Hey everyone, welcome into Big Ten Live. Dave Revson in our Chicago studios. Going to get you out to Piscataway, New Jersey in less than a minute, where Rutgers is set to introduce Keli Zinn as its new athletic director. Zinn filling a vacancy the Rutgers has had for nearly a year. She comes from LSU, was the deputy AD there, the same school that new Rutgers president William F. Tate IV came from. Spent nearly 12 years at West Virginia, her alma mater, prior to her time at LSU. So has nearly 20 years of experience as a power conference administrator. Let's get you out now to Piscataway. Hasim Phillips, the Chief Communications Officer for the Rutgers Athletic Department, set to take over.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's press conference to announce the next Director of Athletics for Rutgers University, Keli Zinn. Rutgers University President Tate will provide an opening statement, followed by remarks from Keli Zinn. We will then open the floor for questions. If you wish to ask a question, please wait for one of the two microphones in the room to get to you. Please identify yourself by name and affiliation before asking your question. Following the Q&A session, we'll have a brief photo op with President Tate and Keli Zinn. At this time, please welcome Rutgers University President William Tate IV.
Thank you all for being here. I'd also like to thank the Board of Governors and our chair for supporting this hire, Hollis as well. Great that you're here. I appreciate you, a legend. And your support in this matter has been really my great honor. So thank you so much. I'd also like to take an opportunity to thank Matt for agreeing to serve as interim athletic director. You're one of the first people I met here, and you're really a great steward of this institution. I greatly appreciate you. Universities and their athletic departments are in many respects archaeological digs, layered with priorities, policy, personnel, players and performers, and patrons. The person that builds the house of possibility at this site of competitors is the director of intercollegiate athletics. They must be a visionary, courageous, tough, and decisive, in a fashion that supports the highest standard of competitive output, while understanding they are a torchbearer of ideals of integrity and academic excellence. The task requires the diplomacy of an ambassador and the operational discipline of a general. In our next athletic director, we have a leader that possesses these qualities and who can stand firmly on the archaeological dig of Rutgers' past, honor it, and push us to new heights. Keli Zinn is that leader. At every stop in her career, she has translated vision into results. She helped West Virginia University navigate a major conference transition while overseeing one of the country's power conference universities. She led multi-million-dollar facilities upgrades at that institution. At LSU, she built championship-level alignment across compliance, health and wellness, and daily operations, all in service of sustained competitive success. She's nationally known for her sharp strategic instincts, her steady hand under pressure, and her unwavering commitment to student athletes. Keli brings to Rutgers what we call the edge, a mindset rooted in preparation, purpose, and performance. She's ready to unearth the best of who we are and elevate it. That's what leaders do on archaeological digs. They interpret the past to shape the future. Rutgers family, please join me in thanking her husband, Nate, for being part of this journey. And now it is my great honor to introduce the Director of Intercollegiate Athletics at Rutgers University, Keli Zinn.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. What just an incredible reception we've received here over the past really 48 hours, right? I know it was just official, but obviously since we left here a few days ago, it's just been overwhelming in the best of ways, and so thankful for all of you who have contributed to that. Before I share some thoughts on the opportunities ahead of us, I do want to thank President Tate for entrusting me with this incredible responsibility to lead Rutgers athletics. As many of you have already seen, Dr. Tate's extraordinary leadership and commitment to excellence is a significant reason why we are here. And I look forward to working with him and other campus leaders to lift up Rutgers athletics, the university, and our community. Anyone who follows college sports right now knows that we are experiencing an unprecedented level of uncertainty. At a time when many universities find themselves at a turning point, I can assure you that the most important component to successfully navigating the current and future landscape is alignment. Among the many reasons I'm thrilled to join the Rutgers family is the certainty I have that Rutgers is aligned. Dr. Tate and I are in complete alignment and share a sincere belief in what can be accomplished in the weeks, months, and years ahead. There is incredible potential here, and you will see us work in lockstep to realize that potential. Another key piece of alignment is with our board chair, Amy Towers, our board athletics chair, Hollis Copeland, and the entire board of governors who I had the opportunity to visit with virtually here this morning. The board has demonstrated its sincere passion for and commitment to the success of Rutgers athletics, and I am grateful for their support and belief in me. Success is rarely accomplished alone. I have been blessed over the past 25 years to serve alongside so many incredible mentors who put me on their shoulders and positioned me for success. Way too many to name today, but I do want to take a moment to express my gratitude to some people who have been particularly instrumental in both my personal and career growth. To Brad Cox, Stan Wilcox, Debbie Yao, Oliver Luck, Gordon Gee, Shane Lyons, and finally Scott Woodward, who empowered me to lead and win at the highest level. I am so grateful to all of you. Most importantly, I want to thank my family. My husband, Nathaniel, has been my biggest supporter and sacrificed a lot of his own aspirations to allow me to ascend and stand before you today. As someone who shares an incredible passion for college sports, he is excited as I am to dive into the Rutgers community and make it our home. You will quickly see that the qualities needed to elevate Rutgers to a championship level are in the fabric of who we are as people. Grit, commitment, resilience, the list goes on. We will pour into this university with a focus on making it a place that people want to be a part of. To my parents, Joe and Joyce, who have supported me every step of the way, all 3,595 miles from West Virginia to Rhode Island to Maryland, back to West Virginia, to Louisiana, and now to New Jersey. You are a reminder of what hard work and an unwavering faith can accomplish, even in the midst of challenges, and that example will continue to guide me in the days ahead. Thank you for all you have sacrificed to help make this possible. And now, let's talk about the promising future ahead. My vision for Rutgers athletics is quite simple. The process to get there in some cases will be complex, and you'll hear more about those details in the future, but the vision is clear. We didn't come here to just compete. We came here to win conference and national championships. To do so, we will effectively recruit and retain elite talent. This includes student athletes, coaches, and staff. We will seek excellence in our performance, and that mentality will drive us to punch above our weight and foster a culture of integrity, teamwork, and discipline. We will elevate our brand and the brand of our student athletes. Our entire department will support the academic mission of the institution. We will make a positive impact on the campus and in the community. We will show gratitude to all who support us, donors, alumni, and fans, and we will build revenue and resources to successfully compete with the nation's finest. Ultimately, our priorities will remain focused on what is best for Rutgers University and the Big Ten Conference in alignment with our values and what is best for the well-being and success for all students and all student athletes. As I shared earlier, college athletics is in the midst of significant change and the constant threat of instability. But there's opportunity in chaos, and you will see us embrace that. We will capitalize on our strengths and strategically invest in our programs to, again, and you're going to continue to hear me saying this, attract the nation's elite talent. To the entire Scarlet Knights community, our student athletes, the student body at large, coaches, faculty members, staff, university leaders, letter winners, donors, fans, and alumni. We can accomplish success like we've never seen before if we do it together, with purpose, investing our energy and our belief in one another. It is then that the bell will ring. Thank you, and go RU.
So we're going to open the floor now for questions. Again, just raise your hand and identify yourself by name and affiliation, please.
Kelly, hi. Steve Politi from NGA.com. Welcome to New Jersey.
Thank you so much, Steve.
I'm curious, obviously, Rutgers is not LSU when it comes to fundraising, and there's a big gap to bridge there. I'm curious about your plans and how you had planned to handle that, and whether or not corporate will be a priority or private equity. What ways do you hope to bridge some of that gap?
Sure, great question, and obviously that's going to be a constant focal point. I actually had the opportunity just a moment ago to visit with Kimberly and talk about things with the foundation and everything that exists here at Rutgers. And what you're going to see, and what we talked a little bit about, is the importance of both being able to elevate things in the commercial and corporate space relative to third-party name, image, and likeness. It's absolutely a necessity and critical for our success, but to also do so in a way where the traditional fundraising side of things and the ability to raise capital and support the university capital projects can both thrive together. And there's a balance to that, but I think it starts with people working really well together to identify what the goals and expectations are to do so, and then us, it's getting out and getting after it to do so. So you'll see us come together on that piece, and again, it's going to be a consistent focal point to raise our revenue, to identify new revenue streams, and to capitalize on those that already exist.
From the Night Report, you've worked in this region at times, obviously at Maryland and in the Big East Conference. How do you plan to use that experience to build relationships early on here in your tenure?
Yeah, well, and obviously, you know, my time at the Big East was many years ago, but it was one of the things that I look back on so fondly, having the opportunity, particularly very young in my career, to roam the halls of Madison Square Garden and all the magic that exists within that city and that venue. But my career has been one where you learn really quickly it's relationship driven, and the time and energy that it takes to put in that, but really the company that you keep and how you pour into people, bringing awareness, communication, all those things will certainly continue to guide me forward. You'll find, and I noted it earlier, my husband and I are significantly invested in this. And so you're going to see us visible in the community with stakeholders and putting in the time and energy to develop those relationships and navigate those areas.
Christian Dyer with Scarlet Nation on 24/7 Sports. Wanted to ask you about your relationship with President Tate dating back to LSU and that synergy, that working relationship, and how attractive did this position become when he became the president?
Oh, gosh. I mean, it was the biggest piece, right? And I say that because, as someone, President Tate and I spent 3 years together at LSU and accomplished a lot, won 4 national championships, 2 of which had never taken place before our time there. And so it was a lot of celebration. When he departed, that was tough for me, and it was tough for a lot of people. And so to have the opportunity to come together with him again and have immediate chemistry is important. You heard me talk about the alignment side of things, but the relationship he and I have is one that's driven by our relentless pursuit of success and winning at the highest level. But the thing that I also value about him is the balance that he has both to academics and athletics. Having the opportunity to see him work through that at LSU, he's as best as I've ever seen. And this has been a goal of mine for many times. You'll hear my husband say she's been an assistant coach for 25 years. She was ready to be the head coach. And he gave me this opportunity. And that's something that I will never, ever take for granted. And I just thank him dearly for putting me up here and giving us this chance to come together again and accomplish excellence.
Brian Fonseca, NJ.com. I'm hoping to ask a question to President Tate, if possible. I was just curious how this process played out from your vantage point since you joined the university, and a question of just structure. There were discussions of maybe a CEO type leading the athletic department. Is that still the plan with Keli, or do you look at more of a traditional model?
So the first question about process, obviously there was a process that was happening prior to my selection as president of Rutgers. I did everything I could to honor the process, and it actually worked because I think we have one of the most talented athletic administrators in the United States who has joined us. The second question related to the past engagement. One of the things that's extremely important with the athletic director and the president is trust, and you don't often get an opportunity to have already had it established, and I was open, quite frankly, to build that trust with any candidate we brought in, and to think through a different model potentially that you're describing. But what unfolded during the process was that it was feasible to find someone who had generated significant revenue at a very high level in that past job, and I think that matched the job description that was put out. But simultaneously, that person had tremendous operational expertise. And so when you can marry the revenue generation component and the operational expertise at the highest level of power conferences, and you can get that person to actually join your team, that's called a big win. And so for me, it just worked out in spectacular fashion, because one of the things that Keli has great expertise in is not just the marketing of sports, but also thinking about how to monetize that. And so I think we're in very, very, very good place right now with that. Thank you.
Keli, Chris Eisman, Bergen Record. When you think about the team that you want to build around you here, I guess what type of people will you be looking to bring in who can carry out the vision for what you see this, as you said, the potential of this department?
Yeah, well, and you heard me say it earlier, right? I'm seeking elite talent, and one of the things that attracted me to this role was the fact that I have the opportunity to build an incredible team. Already, there are a few positions open, and so you'll see me go and seek the best from people who have the same approach and drive for the highest level of success, but those who are optimistic, those who can motivate and empower others, and those who have made the world of college sports one of their deepest passions.
Richie O'Leary, the night report at On3 Sports. Keli, I wanted to ask you more about facilities. There's been talk prior to your hiring that they were going to do some renovations of some and build some other new things. Have you had a chance to check out like the football stadium, the basketball arena, and what are your overall thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, I had the opportunity to drive around. Today's the first time I'm actually able to get in the door and take a look at things. And so, you know, I saw a combination of things from the external side of it. Clearly, in the building we're all sitting in right now is fabulous. The Performance Center and some of those pieces look great. But I come from a background where, and look, there's some beauty in the tradition and the years of wear and tear on great arenas and all the history that they hold. But keeping those upgraded and modern are extremely important. And so I'm aware from the conversations I've had that there's some work to be done. Certainly my history allows me to take a really quick look at that, but a thorough one to make sure that we get that right right, and have a plan ahead to address facilities. Because right now, when again, you're attracting talent, it's important that you have the resources to be able to do so, particularly in the new model with revenue sharing and then the ability for third-party NIL. But it still matters as to where they're going to develop and the brick and mortar that they live in each day. And so that's going to be a priority for me and my team to make sure we get that right.
Keli, obviously, LSU is one of the leaders in the NIL space. How do you bring some of that success to a place like Rutgers where coaches haven't had the level of resources that their competitors have had?
Yeah, you're going to see us be really aggressive in that. And, you know, I talked a little bit about this yesterday and even this morning. The fact that we sit directly in the media market that we're in and where that's at, that shouldn't just be a stat, right? And instead, I think that's an incredible asset that we can absolutely capitalize on. Young men and women coming into college sports today, they care about their brand. And there's a balance to that individual brand and empower and elevating that, but also doing in a way where it also lifts that program as a whole. And so we did a great job of that in my past life. And I have no doubt that we're going to be able to do the same thing here at Rutgers.
Hi, Chuck O'Donnell from Tap Into New Brunswick. Just curious, do you think Rutgers athletics can be profitable or at least sustainable?
You know, based upon the numbers I've seen, I do believe, and you'll learn, I think about anything is possible, right? When you put the right people together with the right plan and the ability to navigate that. Certainly that's not going to happen overnight. But at minimum, we have to improve the financial footprint that exists here. On one hand, I look at the investment that's been made from this university and folks to keep athletics where it's at, and that's incredible. Extremely grateful for it. We all should be. But it's important for me that the university, and particularly the academic side of things, do not see athletics as a burden, and instead they see that as a real value add and part of what elevates the entire university in this community. And so we're going to work towards that. And obviously, I've been able to see it, and I know that's a task, but one that we will absolutely be focused on starting day one.
Question for President Tate. We haven't really had an opportunity to meet you yet either. Just curious, you were very visible at LSU sporting events, very active. What is your vision for Rutgers athletics? What do you hope that this program will become?
Win. I mean, it's not very complicated. You want to develop young people so that they have a set of experiences together, and they not only grow academically, but they grow developmentally so that they could go out and be successful winning in life. And simultaneously, while they're developing that skill set, you want them to take their genius that they have, because you don't get to play sports at a place like Rutgers and not be an athletic genius. They're in the 99.9999999 percentile of individuals who do the sport they're in. They may not actually win every single game, but as individuals, you just, from 3-star above, you're in the 99 percentile. So the realities are they have demonstrated a genius. What we want to create are the support structures so that genius comes together collectively so that they can win individually in life and win collectively on an athletic field. And I think that's possible here. We're winning in research here. If you had gone back in 1940 and said, would Rutgers have $950 million of research dollars, you would have said no. Somebody had to believe. If you would have said Rutgers would be in the top 15 of public universities in America back in 1940, I'm reading a history book now, so that's my bench point, you would have said no. Somebody had to believe. So I fundamentally believe that we can create a winning culture across the board in athletics where the student athletes are winning in life, but collectively they're winning in their competitions. And so it's just about winning. It's just real simple for me. I don't make it complicated.
Thank you, President.
Thank you.
So big day at Rutgers as Keli Zinn is introduced as the new athletic director, posing there with President William F. Tate IV. Again, both of them worked at LSU. Tate, the new president of the university, and he hired Zinn, who was the deputy AD at LSU, and she made no bones about what her goals are with Rutgers athletics, saying she is coming in to win not just Big Ten championships, but national championships. Did talk about some of the challenges that await her, including the financial challenges within the athletic department, as well as some structural challenges with the facilities, and also making sure that Rutgers is competitive financially in terms of NIL. But certainly a really optimistic day with Keli Zinn in charge now at Rutgers. Lots more to come on this story on Big Ten Today, which comes your way at noon Eastern Time. We'll see you then.